Hey everyone, it is Megan Elizabeth and I am here today with an at-home video doing some really awesome things with my essential oils from doTERRA, and I'm making some really amazing recipes for gift giving and for mostly for myself for use at home because I love this so very much and I use them all the time. So I wanted to show you guys some of the things that I do and use and things that you can create as well. Today's video is going to be about making fizzy, fuzzy bath foaming bubble baths, which I love. For a long time I would spend up to $8, which was silly, but I loved it. It was a luxury. It was something I saved for. I didn't just go out and willy-nilly it, but I would spend as much as $8 on a homemade bath bomb that would last me generally between 6 or 7 baths or so. And what I learned is with using the essential oils and the recipe I'm going to show you guys, I don't have to spend that much. It actually only cost me pennies to make one bath bomb, and it lasts and feels absolutely better because you're making it fresh. It's not sitting on a shelf for a while, and it just feels absolutely amazing. So it's great for gift giving. It is great for your own home use and also for actually treating and helping with different things like depression. If you have a cold, there's a recipe for making almost like a Vicks vapor bath that'll help open you up. There's recipes for helping just to calm and relax aching muscles and joints and pains if you have arthritis or different things like that. So that's what I'm going to be working with today with all these ingredients you see here. The main stuff you're going to want to have on hand is the essential oils that most meet your needs. So I'm going to be making a couple. I'll explain the different ones. So you're going to need to have that on hand. You're going to want to have some citric acid, which I just picked up at any grocery store, Target, Walmart, whatever. Literally $1.89 a bottle. And it's in the canning section. So when you want to go to can your own foods, that's what it is. It's a powder of citric acid. I also have baking soda on hand. I use cornstarch because I like the consistency better with cornstarch. You don't have to use the cornstarch if you have a corn allergy. You can still make these. It doesn't fizz as long, and it just doesn't have the same consistency, but that doesn't mean you have to use it, especially if you have a corn allergy. Everything else you shouldn't have to have any issues with. And the other thing that I use is either coconut oil or grapeseed oil. Now, coconut oil I actually like using for this. You can buy fractionated coconut oil, which is liquid form of coconut oil. This is kind of that hard, it's hard, it's coagulated or whatever, but it's still the coconut oil. You can use this, or you can use a fractionated coconut oil, which always stays liquid. Those are the best recommendations. The other things you could use are almond oil. You can use extra virgin olive oil, but I wouldn't recommend it. Grapeseed oil is awesome, but coconut oil is my top choice. So let's get started. They're going to end up looking like, I'm using silicone molds. And then they'll harden inside of there, and it will be like this perfectly formed, awesome bath bomb that will fizz and everything for you. And you're going to want to wait for it to harden before you try to take a bath with it. Use silicone because you are not going to want to use just standard plastic with essential oils. And I'm mixing everything that I'm doing with essential oils in glass. You're going to want to store your essential oils in glass. You don't want to use plastic with them. It will actually eat through many different forms of plastic because of its properties that will essentially attack those things, the pureness of it. So you want to be really careful. We're going to start with our citric acid. I'm actually going to do 2 cups of it. I'm going to make a big batch. This is kind of a little bit more than a double batch is what I'm making with the fizzing bath bombs today. You can make any kind that, there's many different recipes out there, but this is the kind that I like. So just get your citric acid ready. So any place that you can find canning, stuff to do your own canning, you should be able to find citric acid. I actually found some on the end cap at Target, and they have a whole aisle of canning stuff for the summer at Walmart right now. So you should be able to find it, especially right now, pretty easily. So I'm doing 1 full cup. I'm going to do 1 whole cup of baking soda. So we have in here 1 whole cup of citric acid, 1 whole cup of baking soda. Now we're going to add in a half cup of cornstarch. And I like this for consistency. It's not something that you need to have, especially if you have a corn allergy, which I know some people do. You can see this is why I didn't dress up for video today, because it really does make, you know, it's like cooking. It makes it kind of a mess sometimes. So just decided, let's just go for doing a video and showing you guys how to do this at home. Alright, so we have our cornstarch, we have our citric acid, and our baking soda. Next thing we're going to add in is our oil. And by oil, I don't mean the essential oil, I mean our oil base. This is going to help bind everything together for us. We're going to use a half cup of any kind of oil that you want. I'm going to use actually a little bit of grapeseed oil and a little bit of the coconut oil. So pretty much, if we need a whole half cup, I'm going to do a 1/4 cup of each. So a 1/4 cup of our grapeseed oil. Not perfectly measured. You don't need an exact science to this with making bath bombs, but you want to be pretty close so that it actually fizzes really well for you. Okay, and then just start mixing that together. I use my hand to start really forming it into almost like a cookie batter, almost, you know, like you would form a cookie ball. And just break up the coconut oil with your fingers. As you warm it up with your hands, it will soften enough to help form everything. And you could also use fractionated coconut oil. Fractionated, again, is that liquid form of oil, coconut oil. And you can see, like, it's formable enough, but it's still crumbly. So once you get the other essential oils in and you form it, it'll harden into what I showed you. So it'll still be crumbly a little bit, which is about the consistency you want. And then I'm making 4 different kinds of bath bombs today, 4 different recipes. So now that I have my base ready, I'm just going to break it into 3 other bowls, to have 4 bowls total. To mix my essential oils in. So about, I don't know, a decent heap in each bowl. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is actually, I'm using a little bit of sugar crystals in different colors. I have 4 different colors here, and it's going to help me differentiate which oil, or which is for which. So I'm going to use my yellow for some of my citrus, and that's what will go on top of my citrus oils for my happy mood. My pink is going to be my pink is what's going to be my pain and soothing oils. My purple is going to be for my relaxation, stress relief. And then my green is going to be for breathing and colds and all that good stuff. So I just put a little bit in each one just to color code them, and then a little bit will go on the top of each form when I'm finished. Again, it's just to color code them, basically. So you can see that right there. Alright, So that way when I make them all, because they're all going to look the same, they'll smell different, but it's going to be, oh, what was that again? What did I make here? So let's start with our yellow. That's going to be my Citrus Elevation Mood Booster one. And I'm actually going to use 1 drop of frankincense. Just one. One little drop of frankincense. I'm going to use 3 drops of Citrus Bliss, because that is my favorite. My absolute favorite. It is what I wear all the time. It is my, we call it my Happy Bunny blend around here. I love it. It's really going to help elevate your mood. And then the Joyful blend called Elevation. I'm just going to use 2-3 drops of that. Okay, so basically 6 to 8 drops in all when you split it up like this. Okay, if you're going to do all one big batch, I would use around 10 drops, 8 to 10 drops of whatever oil you're using. So this is our Joyful Elevation. This is really great for if you're dealing with depression, if you're dealing with just being down in general. It's really great for women during their special time that they run into about once a month. It's great for that. It's just an overall mood booster. The other thing that this is really great for, if you would add a drop of cinnamon to it or a drop of clove, just one, because it's very strong, even if you can get like a half a drop. It actually is really good for kind of if you're out partying a little bit too much and you have that little bit of an extra headache the next morning. It's a really good invigorating blend that way. Okay, so that's what that one's for. So we're going to go ahead and form these into a couple cups, a couple of our tins here, or molds here. Get them ready. I use the actual cupcake tin to set them in, just so it really helps them mold into a really nice shape. If you don't have silicone molds, I mean, you can buy them in all different shapes, but if you don't have them, you can just use some plastic wrap. But I don't know, I like having them into like a pretty something to put in my bathroom or wherever that may be that I want to put them. And then you can fill them as full or as shallow as you would like. This blend has helped me with so many issues. So many different issues. Honestly, for just improved mood. So basically I'm going to make three of these total. And like I said, you can really form them, like to make them perfect if you wanted to. They will harden. You just press them really tight and you should be really good to go. Now I'm going to mark these again, like I said, with my yellow, so I know that they are my Citrus Bliss, my Happy Blend. Yellow is a happy color. You know what that is. Okay, and you don't have to use a lot. I mean, literally, I'm just sprinkling a little bit on. The sugar's not doing anything for my recipe other than basically color coding them for me. Okay. So then once they're formed, you can pull them out and set them aside. They'll harden. But if you tried to just hold it in your hand and then form it, it's going to like squish everywhere and go everywhere. So that's why I use the tin to hold it in place for me. You can already see pulling that out, it like made the side go up. Just push it back down. Now let's grab this is going to be our sickness blend, okay? And this is going to help when you're not feeling well. You need to help clear out your sinuses. We're going to use a combination of Breathe, On Guard, and a little bit of Balance. Okay, so mostly what we're going to use for this blend is called Breathe. And this is really what helps with your respiratory, opening up the sinuses, helping you feel like a whole person again. I don't recommend using a lot of this right now for myself because it does have peppermint in it. It's not a high amount of peppermint, but it does have peppermint in it, and I want to be careful with peppermint while nursing because it will reduce your milk supply. On Guard is a protective blend. It's great for boosting the immune system. It also has great antibacterial, antimicrobial properties to it, and it's just a really awesome blend if you have any type of infection or anything going on like that. And then a little bit of balance. This is a grounding blend. This helps with depression, your mood, elevating that, calming you down if you have anxieties. And a lot of times when you're not feeling well, feeling sick, this grounding blend really helps you quite a bit. And that and Citrus Bliss are my two most used oils. My third would be Serenity, followed by my lemon and lavender. So if you're gonna really look, I love them all, but Balance, Citrus Bliss, lemon, and lavender. And then for me, I use a lot of Serenity for my depression and anxiety issues. So those are the ones that I literally use every single day in my home. I use them on my kids. And you can see I have a lot more. I have a lot of other oils and I have a lot more coming. They have changed our family. So this is but this is more like our Vicks bath. I'm actually going to make these into smaller ones because it's a very strong blend. And I'm going to stick it right in the tin here, and I'll pop them out of the tin when they harden. I didn't want to do that on all of them, but these are going to be, I'm just doing the mini tins. Because it's so strong, you can use just one or two of these at a time and use them with your kids when they're not feeling well. If they have an ear infection, if they have a stuffy nose, just a regular cold, if something's starting at school, stick them in a bath of this. And it's just using a much smaller amount. It will still fizz and they'll think it's awesome, but that way it's not as overwhelming, overpowering either. Sometimes the overwhelming, overpowerful scent of a citrus or something like that can be really nice, but it's soft. If you overwhelm and overpower on some of the things in Breathe in like a very intense, concentrated form, you'll not necessarily like it so much. Sensory-wise. Your body may love it, but sensory-wise, I don't know if I'd recommend it. Okay, that. Alright, so that's that recipe. Next, we are going on to our relaxation anxiety blend. Okay, we did our joyful blend, our, partied too much, getting over that the next day blend. Now we got to do our what's called the Serenity Relaxation Blend. Or what I call the Serenity Relaxation Blend. That requires 2 drops of Balance. 1, 2. That requires 3 drops of lavender. It's beautiful smelling. 3 drops. 1, 2, 3. This is why it's purple. It goes really well together. It gives you that sense of calm. Release that anxiety. Serenity, 4 drops. 1, 2, 3, 4. This I'm going to make into 4 smaller size bombs. And it's actually serving more of a purpose than just enjoying the scent. And it feels amazing. It leaves a really wonderful moisturizing feel on your skin. You just get out feeling so invigorated. Especially if you like bubble baths like I do. I mean, like I live for them. I live for them. Now we need our pain. When we have aches and pains, back pain, we have arthritis, we have a long day at work, we have a pulled muscle, whatever the case may be. We need some more for that. And I'm probably going to make a couple small bombs. Add color on these so I know. A couple small ones and a couple large ones here. But that's why I also add the color not just to the top but through the mix so I don't get confused while I'm making them either. Alright, set that there. Our pink, we're going to use a little bit of deep blue. It's also going to help with stomach aches too. If you have stomach aches, this is a great bath for that. 2, 3 drops of deep blue. We're going to use 2 drops of Digest Zen. Okay, again, this has some peppermint in it. If you're breastfeeding, be careful. 2 drops of that. Two drops of frankincense. And then 2 to 3 drops of balance. With the frankincense in there, sometimes it overpowers, so I do a little bit more balance just for the scent features of balance. Mix that up really good. Oh, it smells amazing. The whole house is just full of this aroma right now. I'm sure when the kids come home, they're gonna go, "Mom's oiling again." And that's okay, I don't mind. I diffuse it in the house 24/7 using an air diffuser. It has a basically cool water that goes over a ultrasonic plate that evaporates it into the air in the house. And I change it depending on the mood of the house. If everybody's having a really wild day and they're not very calm and they're not obeying and listening very well, I'll use a little bit of in tune and serenity in there. If we're having a sick day, everybody's not feeling well, people have tummy aches, I'll use some digestin and peppermint in there. If it's colds, we'll use some breathe and on guard. So it literally changes depending on what's happening in the house. What the mood is in the house. If everybody's really sad because mommy just went away on a trip, if everybody's feeling really sad that mommy's leaving, we'll use a little bit of balance and a little bit of citrus bliss and make everybody feel a little bit happier that mommy's gonna come back. Alright, so now we're gonna sprinkle these up, wait 24 hours for them to basically harden and dry, and I'm gonna show you guys what they look like in the bathtub. Once they release their wonderful fizz, and too bad it's not smell-o-vision because it's an amazing aroma. So try it for yourself. If you have any questions about recipes, go ahead and send me a message. Visit me at aboverubystudio.com or by meganelizabeth.com. The site directly to go ahead and get your hands on these oils is mydoterra, doterra.com/Megan Elizabeth. And I'll talk to you guys really soon. Have a great day and enjoy the moments. Bye-bye.